Hello, in this video I will explain three exercises of Python. The assignment title is Function Exercise. So, the provide exercise serve as practical examples to reinforce fundamental programming concepts in Python. Each exercise targets specific aspects of programming, ranging from basic arithmetic operations to more advanced concepts such as error handling and input validation. In exercise 5, we will explore the concept of function definitions and function calls in Python. We will examine how to define functions using the def keyword and how to call these functions to execute a specific blocks of code. In exercise 6, we will delve into the visualization of functions with parameters in Python. We will focus on creating a function called calculate salary, which takes two parameters, hours and rate. And in exercise 7, we will explore the implementation of grading program using functions in Python. Especially, we will rewrite a grading program from previous chapter to use function called calculate grade. This function will take a score as parameter and return a corresponding grade as a string. Well, now the first exercise. First, function definition. And it says, Fred function is defined to print sub in this part. Then Jane function is defined to print ABC, like so. Then the function calls Jane function is called first, so it prints ABC. Then Fred function is called next print SAP. Then finally Jane function is called again printing ABC. So if I run the program, it might say ABC SAP ABC. Let's check it. Run, and it says ABC SAP ABC. Now this exercise 6, and it says rewrite the salary calculation program with rate and half rate for overtime hours and create a function called calculate salary that takes two parameters, hours and rate. Well, in this block of code starts a try block. It attempts to execute the code inside the block. If any exceptions occur within the block, it jumps to the corresponding except block, and it says error, please input values. Well, the next part is this try and accept, and it says it prompts the user to input the rate, then attempts to convert the input to a floating point number. If successful, rate will hold the convert value. If not, an error message is printed, like so. Error, please input values in the accept. Then this line of the code is for a function named calculate salary that takes two parameters, hours and rate, like so. And in this block of code, checks if the number of hours exceeds of 14. If it does, the calculated salary will, with overtime pay, the additional hours work over 40 are multiplied by 1.5 times hourly rate, and the standard 40 hours are multiplied by the regular hourly rate. Then the total salary is print, and it says print salary. I will change this to salary. And else, if the number of hours worked is less than 14, this block of code calculates salary without the overtime pay by multiplying the hours worked by hourly rate. The total of the salary is print, and it says print salary, like so. And finally, the line returns the calculate salary value from the function return salary. And the last line of code is the calls of the calculate salary function that says salary equals to calculate salary hours rate. Now I wanna run the program, and it says how many hours do you work. If I put something that is not a number, like none, it will print an error that says error, please input values. And I will do the same to the next question. What is the rate? I will say none, and the program stops working. Now I'm gonna put a real number like 10, and what is the rate? I will put 30. Salary is 300. So that's how this program ends. Um, Now the exercise 7. It says, rewrite the grading program from the previous chapter using a function called calculate grade, which takes a score as a parameter and returns a grade as a string. Um, in this program, the first block of code starts a try block. It attempts to execute the code inside the block, which includes a prompting the user to input the score and converting the input to a floating point number using float, like so. Float score grade. And has an accept that says error, please input values. Error, please input values. If an exceptions occur during the process, if the user enters a non-numeric, it jumps to the corresponding except block. That's like I said previously, error, please input values. Then it in the next line of code, it says def grade score grade. This line defines a function named grade that takes one parameter, score grades. Now, um, the next line of code, it says if score grade, and then prints the value is out of range. How does this work? Uh, this block of code will check if the value of the score grade parameter is less than 0.0 or greater than 1.0. If it is, it means that the score is out of range, and it prints an appropriate error message, and it says the value is out of range. Now the elif part of the code, and these elif blocks check the value of the score grade parameter against different thresholds to determine the corresponding grade. If the score meets a certain threshold, it prints the score along with the corresponding grade. Like if you have a grade of 1.0, it will say the value is no. If you have a grade of 1.0, it will print outstanding because it's between 0.9 and 1.0. If you uh, print, if you write 0.8, it will print a notable in the running program because it's between 0.8 and 0.9, and that's so on and so forth in the next line of code. Now I'm gonna run the program. I will put something out of range, like 1.1. The value is out of range because in the if part of the code, it it says that if the score grade is higher than 1.0, it will be out of range. Now I'm gonna run the program again. Enter a score. I will put 0.5, and it says fail. Now enter a score. I will put 0.6, and it says pass. Now I will put 0.7. Good. Now I will put 0.8. Not able. And now I'm gonna put 0.9. Outstanding. The the functions are used uh, to reuse a part of code whenever you want in any code you are using. So it's very useful to use a part of a code without rewriting the part of the code. And that's all for today.